All right, folks, let's talk about something big happening in the UK right now. Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, has just unveiled a massive 10-year infrastructure plan worth £725 billion. That's right, £725 billion over the next decade, aimed at fixing up Britain's crumbling roads, bridges, hospitals, and schools. It's a bold move, no doubt, but is it all it's cracked up to be? Today, we're diving deep into the pros and cons of this plan, and I'll also share why I think it needs to be paired with some smart immigration policies if we want it to actually work. So, buckle up, because this is a lot to unpack. Let's start with the good stuff. Infrastructure investment is like the backbone of economic growth. When you pump money into building and repairing roads, bridges, and public services, you create jobs, lots of them. In fact, the construction industry alone is expected to need over 250,000 additional workers by 2028, just to keep up with demand, according to the Construction Industry Training Board, CITB. That's a huge opportunity for employment, especially in areas like the Midlands, North, and West Country, where £15 billion is earmarked for tram, train, and bus projects, BBC News. Better infrastructure also means better connectivity. If you can get from point A to point B faster and more efficiently, businesses can operate more smoothly, supply chains are less disrupted, and overall productivity goes up. Studies suggest that every pound invested in infrastructure can generate up to £2 in economic returns. So this could be a catalyst for broader economic growth. And let's not forget about housing, with £39 billion allocated for affordable housing. This could tackle the UK's chronic housing shortages, making it easier for people to find homes they can afford. The Mirror. Plus, there's £14.2 billion for the Sizewell C nuclear power station, a step towards securing the UK's energy future and reducing reliance on fossil fuels. So, on paper, this plan has the potential to be a game changer. But of course, no plan is perfect, and there are some serious challenges here. First, there's the funding. £725 billion is a colossal amount, and while the government is borrowing to fund it, that means higher debt levels. We're already seeing debt interest payments skyrocket from £38 billion in 2019-20 to over £100 billion recently, Daily Mail. That's money that could be spent elsewhere, and it raises questions about sustainability. Then there's the issue of private finance. For projects like the Lower Thames Crossing, which is meant to ease congestion on the M25, the government is relying on private investors, Financial Times. But private finance often comes with a premium, meaning taxpayers might end up paying more in the long run. And let's not forget that over £1.2 billion has already been spent on this project without a single shovel hitting the ground yet. That's not a great start. Another concern is regional inequality. While the plan targets Labour heartlands, what about other parts of the country? If the benefits are concentrated in certain areas, it could exacerbate existing disparities, leading to resentment and political fallout, Financial Times. And finally, there's the environmental angle. While the plan includes investments in green energy, new road projects could increase carbon emissions, which might conflict with the UK's net zero targets. Without a clear strategy to mitigate these impacts, the plan's environmental credentials are questionable. Now, Here's where things get really interesting. For all this building to happen, you need workers, skilled workers specifically. The construction industry is already facing a massive skills shortage. There are 38,000 vacancies every month, and by 2028, we're going to need hundreds of thousands more workers, CHAS. Before Brexit, about 40% of construction workers were from the EU, but now, with stricter immigration rules, that supply has dried up, new civil engineer. And recently, the government has made things even tougher. As of 2025, the skilled worker visa is now largely reserved for degree level jobs, and many construction roles fall below that threshold, Centuro Global. Sure, there's a new temporary shortage list, TSL, for certain middle skilled jobs, but it comes with strict conditions. Employers have to prove they've tried to recruit domestically and have workforce strategies in place to train UK workers, Taylor Wessing. Plus, the immigration skills charge has gone up by 32%, making it more expensive to hire from abroad, Fox Williams. This could lead to higher wages for domestic workers, which is great for them, but it also means higher costs for projects, which could ultimately be passed on to taxpayers or lead to cuts in other areas. So here's my take. If the government really wants this infrastructure plan to succeed, they need to align it with immigration policies that allow for the influx of skilled workers. That could mean making the TSL more accessible or easing visa requirements for skilled tradespeople. Yes, we should absolutely invest in training domestic workers, but that's a long-term solution. In the short term, we need boots on the ground, and that means looking beyond our borders. It's not about choosing between domestic workers and immigrants, it's about having both. Immigrants can fill immediate gaps while we build up our domestic workforce. And let's be real, many of these skilled workers might stay and contribute to the economy in other ways. So it's a win-win. So to wrap it up, Rachel Reeves' infrastructure plan has a lot of potential to boost the UK's economy and improve quality of life, but it's not without its risks. Funding concerns, potential cost overruns, and environmental impacts are all valid worries. But perhaps the biggest hurdle is the skills shortage in construction. Without addressing that, the plan could falter, leading to delays and higher costs. That's why I believe it's crucial to pair this infrastructure investment with policies that facilitate the immigration of skilled workers. It's not just about building roads and bridges, it's about building a workforce that can make those projects a reality. If we get this right, the UK could see a golden age of infrastructure development. If we don't, we might just end up with a lot of half-finished projects and a bigger bill than we bargained for. What do you think? Do you agree that immigration policy needs to be part of this plan? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis like this. See you next time.